What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to AniPeeps, your go-to destination for all things anime and manga related. I'm one of your co-hosts, Boom. Along with me today is one of the boys, the one and only B0ggs Benny. How you doing, my man?
Hello, hello. I'm doing good. I guess we're running it back with just us two. I don't know when the last time we did this is, but super stoked for today's episode.
That
So
you
thanks for
are,
having
my
me.
man. Of course, based on the title, you probably guessed it. We will be reviewing the anime Welcome to the Ballroom, and this one was kind of special because Boggs recommended it to me quite a while ago, right? And I know
Mhm.
you're a big fan. I kill your vibe.
Come on, man.
But before we even start, bars, man, why would an anime about ballroom be elite, man? Why?
I, I mean, personally, I tend to watch more of these kind of, I guess, like performance arts or like lesser, uh, not popular, but less global sports, I guess, say like basketball in the
Mm,
States or soccer. I mean, stuff like that. But no, this one definitely just caught my eye because of its art style too. And I really don't mind more niche sports or performance arts kind of thing. And
yeah.
a lot of ones I've seen in the past, I ended up enjoying. So I think that was a hook that kind of got me to start it. And yeah, I ended up enjoying it throughout.
For me, when I was watching the ball, I was like, "Wow!" I didn't understand why would it be good. I mean, is it because whether you're a dance fan or not, this anime has
Hmm.
something for everybody? Passion, drama, incredible
Yeah.
visuals, great character designs, OP scenes. Like, dude, I was just joking with you. I was super big fan of this show, man. But hit you the
Okay,
okey
I'm
doke.
glad to hear. Okay, because
Yeah.
off air, I was kind of getting hints like, wait, maybe Boom actually didn't like it
No,
too much.
yeah. I know off air
Okay,
too. I was trying to make sure I didn't tell you anything. That's why I didn't want you to look at my Mal rating too, man.
gotcha.
And I'll probably say that at the end too. But once again, the anime we're referring to is Welcome to the Ballroom. Released 2017 by Production IG, and I
Hmm.
think that was Haikyuu as well. And I haven't seen this one, but Ghost in the Shell, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And like Boggs mentioned before, Welcome in the Ballroom blends sports anime energy with the elegance of competitive dance, which Boggs, I think you might have mentioned it when you previously
Maybe
talked
it was
about it.
Psychopaths. But I'm also really glad that you mentioned that the aspect of sorry to cut you off too,
No, you
but
go, you go.
I'm glad you mentioned the part of, like you're coming into a show about ballroom, what do you expect?
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
kind of like one of those things with sports which like is something you see in every sports about like whether it's like dedication or someone who's like a natural talent kind of thing and
Mm-hmm.
rooting for the underdog and everybody, no matter how elite or not elite they are at the sport, have their own issues in the sport.
Dude,
Um,
it's crazy how you said that. Cause like, literally before I watched the last episode, and one thing I screenshotted and made sure I want to talk about. They said this in the first episode. I'll just say the character's name. We'll introduce them later. But Sengoku's like Sensei, right?
mhm.
He said from the very beginning with dance is unlike any other sport. You could be a year one and beat or just be better than a
Yeah, or
year
you
20
could be
or
doing and not be great, right?
yeah, and I like that
Mhm.
because like it's pretty cliche, but like all sports anime, they'd be like for example, Haikyuu, just because same production, he's like the smallest guy, so it's like
Mhm.
it's kind of like unbelievable, like that he's so OP, right? I get it, hard work and stuff like that, and they still have the
Yeah,
challenges, but from the get go, this anime was saying like it
starts off with that.
if you're natural can grasp it super quickly, you can be better than like vets. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For me, that
exactly.
like again, I don't know, and I was gonna ask you this too, but I didn't know anything about competitive dance. I always thought it was just like you do the waltz at a fancy dinner party, you know?
Yeah, like I'm pretty much on the same boat.
Yeah,
Like before I watched this, I didn't really know too much about dance and except for how fancy people do it.
yeah, and I
Uh,
can't like, dude, it was like it's weird because it's like it's about dancing, and you're like, dude, how can this be? I'm just play some random clips, but how can it be interesting? But the way they grasp the show, and I think we'll touch on it a little bit later too. But dude, I was literally couldn't stop watching, man. I had to force
Nice,
myself to
nice.
stop because I didn't want to like fall asleep while watching it, you know?
Yeah, definitely wanted to enjoy every moment of it. And
Yeah.
I guess some people who are just with the screen on watching, I know the art style, probably talk about it a little bit later.
Mm-hmm,
It's
mm-hmm.
very distinct and unique, but definitely don't use that as a reason not to watch it. At least give it, maybe like 3 episodes or something. Even if you're not a fan, it will probably be something you get used to.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, for me too, like I wasn't a big fan, but I also didn't hate it when I was first watching it, but definitely grew to appreciate like the very unique art style, and I feel like it really like matches the theme of something like, say, ballroom dancing, where posture is very important, and these
Yes.
characters have like very straight back, long neck, um like stiff shoulders
It's a
kind of
unique
thing. So
sport. Unique animation is needed. Said Epic.
true that, true that.
Back to the day. But yeah, before we keep going on, we talked about IG, was it production IG, right? And
Hmm.
unfortunately, it's only one season, 24 episodes. We talked about it already. The genre is like sports slash drama, manga source material, but um, I was reading online blogs, and maybe you can confirm this too. I've seen that there might be a season two because based on how much what is it, not content, but how much source material was for season one, it was like 65 chapters or 55, and now there's
Mm.
more than enough to do a season two, man. Where
Yeah,
season
I
one left off, again, 24 episodes season one, I was like, dude, let's binge season two, but then
Yeah, unfortunately, at least like you said, it was a
yeah,
season, 24 episode season, and I think that was actually super important because the second half really just s- kicks it off like a whole nother level. But in regards to like the source material, I think maybe they might be able to do like a 12 episode one, but I don't know to the extent because I don't I haven't read it, but
yeah,
I have heard it's like hiatus. I don't know if it's like an on off kind of situation, where
yeah.
it's like new chapters very slowly or something like that. But this is something I definitely would like to see the manga continue. And I think if the author gets off hiatus, it might be actually something that I just go ahead and read, because who knows, with the anime,
It's
how
that might
long
be
it could
one of the
be.
biggest downfalls. Like like you get like an anime series, it doesn't have a season two or a season three, but at least the manga's finished. This one's
Yeah,
worse. Anime's not,
no,
manga's not.
def yeah, it feels bad, man.
And then I guess we can go into like the plot, but before that, just the way season one ended, man. It's like, oh, just the beginning. You know what I mean? You're
I
just
know,
cracking
yeah,
it open.
pretty much, because I will say the best girl in the season doesn't even appear till halfway into the 24 episode season. So like Boom mentioned,
We agreed.
uh
It was a good
when
show.
season
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can go. You
oh no, I was just gonna say, so like you said, it's pretty much like, oh, it's just getting started, but yeah.
we agree it's a good show, man, but that might be where we're wrong. We have a debate of who the best girl is,
Ooh,
man. But
Chi-chan, big clear winner.
we'll see about that. But
We'll
a
see, we'll
quick
see.
intro. Of course, the main character Tatara Fujita. A aimless high schooler. When we first seen him, he almost like just randomly finds because of what's her name? Shizuku, right? Um,
Yeah.
uh, not a classmate. I think a year or two older, right?
Hmm.
Same high school. He kind of follows her into a dance studio, thinking she's like him, like no aims in high school, just like
Yeah.
a kind of like a deadbeat high schooler, right? Watches her dance and then gets forced by Sengoku his
Sengoku.
to introduce him to dancing, and then from there his passion shows. And then you meet all these characters. He later partners up with Shizuku for a little bit, and then from there his journey you really see it. He gets multiple partners from there, and then like Bog mentioned, he finds quote unquote the best girl, Chi-chan, who is probably going to be his partner from going on for the rest of the story, right?
Yeah.
And I think the plot's really simple, right? He's just trying to. I guess his goal was what, just to be on the same stage as Shizuku and Hyodo, right?
Yeah, pretty much perform at the same stage because, as you mentioned, like Tatara really like falls in love with the sport very
Mm-hmm.
quick. You know, like there's one scene where Sengoku pulls up a little later and he was
This is
literally just
Sengoku,
going
by the way.
ham
Yeah.
uh, the whole time, and pool of sweat below him. He's just repeating the same moves over and over, kind of thing.
Oh,
But
like his first, like overnight, right? He was
yeah, yeah.
and then that's where Sengoku really likes him, right? Because he sees like he might be able to. He has that natural talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Oh, dude. Oh, one thing before we move on too. This is Shizuku right here. One
Yeah.
of my favorite girls with glasses though, dude. I don't know why they put glasses on. It doesn't even fit her. I feel like they put the glasses on like last second in anime, dude. It just
I
doesn't
feel like
fit at all. And for me, I hate it, dude. Hate it.
I feel like it does a good job to kind of show how she's like almost like a different person when it comes to dancing, like
Yeah.
earlier talked about Tatara thought she was one of him where pretty aimless,
Uh,
nothing to be passionate about, but on the ballroom like the dance floor, like she's like a different person.
and then in the beginning you're kind of rooting for him and her to be partners, man.
Yeah, yeah, but that definitely
That
even
quickly goes
yeah,
away because
it,
Hyodo, which is her partner, and I think he's just like a prodigy, right?
yep.
Dancer. But throughout throughout the whole first season, you just see the intensity of competitions and Tatara's journey to find his own style, man. And this face right here, I remember you showed us this face, um, when you were talking about ballroom dancing, right? Let me
Hmm.
just go to it real quick. And then when I finally I remember like watching it, I was like, I'm gonna watch it. But then when this scene popped up, dude, I skipped it, but you get the
It hit
scene.
different, huh? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I was like, oh, yo, Boggs ain't capping, man. He on to something, man. But
And that's like one of those moments that really shows how happy he is when he's dancing, even though he's far from the best amongst his peers. But yeah,
and then
but that smile is definitely helps. Uh, it's kind of infectious to some of his like surrounding dancers who maybe forgot why they started dancing, or
mhm.
so
And I like how you said that too, because it's not all about Tatara. You see like the backstories of all the characters, dude. Throughout the first season, and that just makes the show hit harder, because I think it could get
yeah.
repetitive of them just dancing, but they always switch it up, like the style of dancing they do to like the camera angles, because it's always
Hmm.
zoomed in or a little bit zoomed out, so it's not just always them dancing, and you can
Yeah.
always see like what they're thinking of too. And this right here, I paused it on this photo because this is where you see all the, I guess, his friends, right, on competitive dancing, like
Hmm.
competitors to him as well. uh
Yep.
the best girl, quote unquote, from Boggs is Chi-chan. She's in the middle right here with the scary face. Then you have Shizuku right there with the straw hat, and I mean Gaji. Is it Gaji or I forget his name? Something Ga, I think.
The
The tallest one.
The guy, yeah, 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 the big brother, right? The
Yeah,
middle. Yeah, got you.
and my personal best girl, far left, his partner slash sister, dude. I don't know
Yeah, she's
how
great too.
you don't like her, dude.
I mean, she's
Chi-chan's
definitely
good, but
next in the line, but
and you
yeah,
just know there's a
even
romance building between them. Or maybe
hmm
one sided, but she likes
yeah.
him, dude.
I mean, I'm a shipper of Tatara and Chi-chan, so
I think
unfortunately we won't see it blossom at least anytime soon.
you can't front Boggs. I know you were shipper of Shizuku and Fujita for a while, huh? Even
I
though
I could I could
when
care less about them.
come on, man. Especially when
I mean,
Kyoto came,
Yeah,
and then you know how like what did he got hurt or something? I thought that for me because Chicha wasn't introduced or the sister wasn't introduced, so I was like, oh, this is how they become a partner. You know?
yeah. But as soon as I mean, for me too, like obviously same for you because she's your favorite. But
Yeah,
like, as soon as like Mako was introduced, I was like Team
that's what.
Mako, and
Yes,
then
yes.
Chi-chan got introduced. And I was like, man, they just keep bringing in better female cast members in here. So
And
yeah,
I know, dude.
Shizuku just got left in the dust for me.
All the all the characters too, even the male characters are OP. I really like them. I didn't
Yeah,
like what's Mako's brother's name again? Gaju or
Gaju,
I
yeah.
didn't like Gaju when he partnered with Shizuku, dude.
Yeah, because he was
Dude,
kind of a
I
mean man.
but now I like him, because he's like super nice. But
And,
dude,
like you mentioned earlier too, we get like the first impression for pretty much all these characters, and we see them in a certain way, and then we get kind of like their backstory.
yes, yes,
Uh, Gaju is one of them, but the biggest one I think was
the final,
Masami, which is not in this picture here, but yeah, his backstory was also a great one.
and then it's pretty OP because he just looks like a villain. Like
Yeah,
his
yeah, like his
this
aura,
guy.
his vibes, his look, he's just, you know.
Yeah, and then his backstory is sad too, man. So that at the
Mhm.
end, oh, you kind of rooting for him too at the same time, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
his first rival was Sengoku. You feel like,
yeah,
um, this I love this. I think this is the ending scene too for the
yeah. I
ED.
think this is how, yeah, and
This
I think this is also how the season, like the final episode, kind of ends too.
it shows this and it goes into. I guess we're already in spoiler territory because I just watched it today. It was OP. I want to talk about this anyway. The ending scene in season 1 is because Sengoku. He's a teacher or he was his first teacher, but he's still an active pro dancer. So he's traveling around the world, and
Yeah,
then he lied to Tatara in the finals, saying I'm
yeah,
watching
saying he was
you.
there. Yeah,
But in the
he's like in a,
last episode, he's in his motorcycle. He goes to the
yeah,
shop. He said, "I made a promise," and he opens the
so epic,
door
man.
to Tatara doing the same like alone practice
From like
dance from the
kind of
beginning you
like
were
a
talking about.
callback.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and then they just
Oh, super good.
both smile, and that's how it ends, dude. I'm like, where's season 2, man? I'm getting so
I know,
pumped,
man.
man.
And I love the relationship between the two, because like you said, like Sengoku's like his current still competitor
Yeah,
and
yeah.
is like world renowned and stuff like that, but he makes a time for a amateur rookie like Tatara and
And
definitely sees potential in him.
I know we're skipping so many stuff because for me, I'm just so passionate about this anime, dude. I just want to keep like it's
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about for this one.
like when you say something, I'm like, I remember this scene. It's going all over
Yeah.
the place. Like another Sengoku moment I was sad about is when Tatara said, "You always be my first coach, but I need to find another coach because he's still active,
Yeah,
dude." That was so stupid. I was like, "Yo, what is he doing, dude?"
I
I
know.
didn't
But then I
understand
guess
it.
that introduced us to Hyodo's mom, which is also like a great coach. Uh she was a coach for Masami, the evil looking dude, and
Uh, and also
I think
former
there
like renowned dancer, I believe.
yeah. And there's like one quote I'm probably gonna butcher it, but when she's talking to Masami where she's like, you don't know the hell that like regardless of your level, each athlete has their own hell that they go through,
Yeah.
regardless of how talented or untalented you are. Like pretty much each athletes have their own problems they face.
Hmm.
So
Dude. Dude, they just cooked with this, dude. And I guess like going on to like the animation, because I know you mentioned it earlier too. For me, I feel like I'm really, really picky about liking or not liking certain animation styles, and I really didn't like mind this one at all. I really liked it. So I was
yeah.
like, for
If
me, it was
anything,
normal.
like
Like
yeah,
Clannad,
like
I always talk bad about Clannad. I don't watch it because of the
oh god,
animation, dude. Like straight, like no hate, no hate, like no jokes.
yeah.
Like
Just
that
turns you off.
animation it just looks kind of weird, right? Bug eyes. Everyone says it. Um, but
Oh god.
it's like, dude,
No, Got it. Had to slide in the Kleinad jab, huh? But I mean, I totally get it. Like sometimes the character designs and stuff like that could be off-putting. I think like
Mm-hmm.
one negative I could have about this show is like I honestly wish I could have seen even more dancing. Because a lot of times,
Yes.
and it's understandable because when they're dancing, you have like the self dialogue where, when the dancer's dancing good, they're talking about how great their body's feeling, blah blah blah, and on the other end when the dancing's not going too well, they're kind of uh getting in like a vicious negative cycle in their head and getting all these black thoughts, and like visually you see all this like black aura. So we still do get quite a bit of dancing scenes, but I
Mm-hmm.
I definitely wouldn't have minded seeing a lot more.
And then I noticed like the last episode, they did a lot more. You could see like the full dance, not just like one or two
Yeah.
steps like you were mentioning. Like it
Hmm.
was almost like a bird's eye view like, on top of them,
Yeah, yeah.
and you can see Tatara, and it makes sense because at that moment he like find his own style of dancing because
Hmm.
throughout the thing he's just trying to figure out how to be a good leader. Um, and I feel like because me and probably you too, we don't know anything about dancing, so we're understanding while Tatara's learning
Yeah,
too about how to do it. But
yeah.
then when it zooms out and he's just like, it's almost like they're going in a circle. I don't know what it's called, but they were just killing it. You can tell
Hmm.
that was like, oh my gosh, dude, this is peak,
Yeah,
huh?
and I guess that's a good time to kind of talk about like Tatara's kind of, because the main thing in this show is obviously our main character Tatara kind of progressing as a dancer, and
Mm-hmm.
it's between like he matched really good with Mako, but I as the story progresses too and how season ended, it seems to be alluding that like Chinatsu's his perfect fit, especially with
Yeah,
how I guess timid and not demanding Tatara is as a lead, which is something that's very
it's like give and
needed
take,
in.
you know.
Yeah, yeah, like dancing's very give and take, or his very give and take it, where dancing it's like it's said to be, the male leads and then the women follows kind of thing. But we get Tatara, who is very kind of finds middle ground. His less authoritative, if that makes any sense. And he's
Mm-hmm.
paired up with Chi-chan, who's very hard-headed. She actually learned to be a lead, at least growing up as a dancer. So they just happen to be like a good mix with they cover for each other's downfalls. So
Yeah.
I just wish we got a lot more of Tatara and Chi-chan kind of growing as a pair, because that's kind of when the professional dancing side of things start off. Once you find a partner, you try to make it up the ranks with them, and like
Mm-hmm.
like we were talking about earlier, like right when things seem like it was gonna start, that's where season one ends and no season two. So
Because you see him fighting in like the little camp they were at, with everybody, and
mhm.
then again referring back to the last episode, but um, if you remember, Chi-chan made a promise saying, "If it's my fault that we lose this because they're not pairing good as a partner duo, right? We'll disband the group, right?" And
Yeah, yeah,
when they won, dude, and she looked over, she said, "I guess that's no longer a thing, dude." And
yeah, yeah.
dude, oh
Oh
my
man,
gosh, granting
the
right
final
now
win
as I
felt
speak,
great.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
feel
the
like this. I feel like this right now, man.
yeah,
Just talking about it,
felt euphoric, man.
and
And
the
also,
reason.
oh, go
Oh,
ahead, go ahead.
you go. I was just gonna say
No,
the
no, go ahead.
reason. Also, like Hyodo, Sengoku, or all of them really liked Tatara is because this scene in particular, right? They seen
Hmm.
like how much it was genuine. Like he loved dancing, even though it was like
Yeah,
early on, he was messing up. I think this was his first competition with Shizuku, right? Like Hyodo Prodigy was getting like fired, like he's getting
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
pissed. He's like his passion, yes, he loves it. Like he's having fun out there, dude. So I was
Like
like,
it even
oh, like
kind of affects Masami, who's like a very negative person, like when his
yeah.
dancing, his point of view is like very dark, and he even like
He
kind
even
of
said
blinds
hell on
out
his
all the
shoulder.
other dancers. Like
Yeah.
when his dancing, everyone around him's like a black kind of mist, but the
Hmm.
smile breaks through and brings in the
Dude,
light.
it
Which
just
kind of
sucks
I
because
I think kind of leads me to what I kind of want to talk about. Is like the visual imagery in this show is really cool. Like the one scene with like the four legs.
yes,
Um,
yes, cook
it's like
box
really
cook.
good. And also when he's dancing with Mako, like how he kind of becomes invisible just so she could like shine, and they kind of compare that to like a a frame in a painting.
Yeah,
I like
and
that
then
one. In regards to like performance in this series, I feel like I like the Tataramako one the most.
yeah, I
Um,
mean, again, last episode referring to Chichan and him had the like it was the last dance essentially to win the competition, right?
mhm.
They kind of clicked on that scene too, but that
Yeah.
Mako picture in frame, and I was gonna mention this earlier when you were mentioning like his strive to like become a great dancer, Tatara. When he was dancing with Mako, it was like he was being too giving, where
Yeah,
the
he was
female is shining too much, which you don't want.
yeah, yeah. Like
But it,
I don't know the right word, like he concedes too much, something like that. But yeah, exactly what you said. Like the female, the follower can't be the main,
can't outshine him, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but like that makes me love Mako even more. And then, even her big brother noticed like we gotta be a partner again, which I
Oh
hated
yeah,
how
dude.
he
When Mako
she
was killing it, thanks to Tatara, and her big brother was just like, "This isn't the Mako I know," kind of thing, and he was kind of
you've
sweating it. I was
changed.
like, "Let's go, let's
I
go."
like I like because he's a funny character.
Yeah,
And then he joked around the Tatara. He kept saying, "How far did you guys go?" Like joking, like we
yeah,
were. You changed
and
my. 'Cause I think she started growing like
yeah,
boobs.
her boobs got bigger.
He's like, because of you.
Yeah, definitely some brother and sister
Dude,
complex going on there, but
it's it's in the show. Like there's comedy in the show, and I love
hmm
comedy. Um, Boggs, big Joe Rogan comedy fan.
oh
Um,
no,
when,
absolutely not.
when they put that in there too, I love it. Like even this is a side note. We can go back to what we were talking about, but like the dancing instructors, the chubby chick, she becomes
Yeah,
skinny out of
yeah,
nowhere, dude.
yeah, and then I think she regains the weight
Yeah,
again or
at the
something.
end.
But yeah,
But like
yeah,
the other older teacher is like, "Who is this lady?" And she's like, "Oh, she just lost weight." At that, and he's like, "What? You're back to normal?"
yeah,
Like
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 out of
slight
nowhere.
comedy and more
Hmm.
slice of life scenes in this show too makes it. Um,
No, definitely,
but
definitely.
I think you're mentioning stuff that even though we love the show, something we consider weaknesses, and I had one was in the middle of the series where it almost felt like it was two seasons. Um,
Hmm.
because it's kind of time skip esque. You can tell like months went by. Like I think it was 6 or something months.
Yeah.
Um, from when Tatara danced with Shizuku in the competition.
Hmm.
I felt like after that there wasn't that big of an explanation point, so it just kind of like skipped right into it. So it went from
Oh,
like
gotcha,
that
gotcha.
to Sengoku was he used to be teaching full time. Now he's off doing competitions. We don't know where Hyodo
Hmm.
went or Shizuku went, right? And then we just see
Yeah,
Tatara by himself looking for a partner. Of course, after that, pacing became good after that. But for
it
me,
was like a big jump.
maybe better if it would have made more sense. Obviously, I didn't watch it while it was currently airing, but if it was season one, season two, because then you can explain
Yeah,
a little bit more. Because if you're in
like a new
24
fresh
episodes,
start.
you're stretched thin.
I do know
But
what you mean. If it felt more
mhm.
like two seasons rather than one 24 episode season, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
But it's still
yeah,
good. But like that was the only thing. If I'm nitpicking, and obviously what you said, I even wrote that down in my notes. Limited focus on like the actual dancing,
yeah.
which for me it's good. But if you're an actual dance fan, you're like, dude, where's this? Where,
Yeah, I can
I'm just
imagine
guessing at
like if
that
you're,
point.
especially it's obviously like a series that's heavily focused on dancing. So again, it would have
Hmm.
been nice to see a lot more dancing, but I
Yeah,
think there's still enough, and I
absolutely,
really
absolutely.
did appreciate kind of during the dancing, kind of the mental battle that uh, both the guys and girls are kind of going
Yeah,
through, and helps explain kind of the struggles that dancers have as athletes, and yeah, so.
definitely wanted
But
to
other than
say
that, I
that
don't
because
have too many complaints. I feel like really.
for me, I feel like now is still 2017. Maybe no, because there's still opening bangers from 2017. For me, like the in anime soundtrack, like the songs they're
Hmm.
dancing to, some of those are smacks, right? Some of those are like
Yeah,
legit
yeah,
bangers. But the opening in EGs, the second opening, like in that 13 episode mark when they switched over, um,
yeah,
was good. But that first opening, I'm a big opening guy, um,
yeah.
it wasn't a smacker. I don't want to take it away from the anime, but if they do come out season two,
Looking,
man,
want the
with
banger.
dance, there is music involved. Let's make one of the openings OP. So at the final dance, it's I like when
Oh
animes do
yeah, that
this.
would be
Like
nice.
prime example, like the cyberpunk, the OP scene. That song comes on,
Hmm. Yeah,
like if they can do something like that, that'll be OP. But like again, nitpicking at this point because we just been. I don't want to just glaze this anime.
yeah. True, true. No, but
But yeah,
yeah, and again, I said it already, but uh, and this isn't even gonna be a complaint, but at first, like maybe like 2 episodes, I wouldn't even go as far as to say like off-putting, but definitely was like a unique look to the characters, and easily got used to it, and I wouldn't have this series any other way at this point, after watching it. It's like, okay,
absolute,
this
absolute.
character design fits perfectly for I guess this show. But I mean, all
And also,
so many good characters in this series too, man.
yes, yes.
A lot we didn't even get to talk about, but just so much
Maybe
depth
part two.
into pretty much a main cast. Like all these people we see on the screen right now, um, really
We
good
could
characters.
even
I,
do
I
like a
feel
part
like,
two
yeah,
going through the actual story because I feel like we're just it might be my fault, but we're just saying stuff we like, and it goes we're just feeding off,
yeah.
drifting.
I do want to
But
see. I do want to see more from about Hyodo though. Uh,
I think we're close because it showed a little bit
mm-hmm.
in that first part of season 1, I would call it. But I feel like that
Hyodo a little
backstory for
too OP.
Shizuku is coming too. We got a little bit
Yeah.
from her. Those two are
Mm-hmm.
like the main two. I would not bad guys obviously, but like the competition.
Yeah. Like Tatara wants to be on their level because he obviously like looks up to
That's the
them,
goal,
and
right?
hmm I love the
But
colors
yeah,
in this series a lot too. I feel like the
yes,
dresses really match the girls really good too.
Maka with that
Yellow,
yellow.
red, and
Yes,
purple.
like
But
more cause she's more like I don't know how to say it, like cheerful.
like,
You know what I mean? She just looks like a
yeah,
cheerful character, and Shizuka's
soft,
more like
rounded character.
she's more yeah like I don't know like she just looks beauty. You know what I mean? Her
Yeah,
character.
yeah, like a peacock kind of.
Yeah, like this scene might be taking
Hmm.
the cake here. Gosh, dude. For me, just wrapping up the strengths. You mentioned it too, so this is probably just a repeat, but unique premises, blending like sports anime with ballroom dancing, super unique, right? I don't know if there is a show like this, other show like this, right? But you mentioned it quite a bit. Strong character development and emotional depth with all the characters, not just a few of them. And also for me, I know you touched on maybe the animation might have been threw you off in the beginning, but for me it was just visually stunning dance sequences, man. Especially with the frame one.
Hmm.
Glad you mentioned that. Kind of forgot about that. But yeah, dude,
And a
this
lot of
series,
emotion
man.
in the characters' faces too, obviously with the smiling one we saw, but how they show the emotions when they're dancing, it's done really well. Where like the camera kind of feels like it's moving with the character, and then it feels like it slow mo's a little bit, and then that's where you see like
Dude,
the
yeah.
intensity in the dancers or the emotions in their in the face and stuff like that. So
This might be stupid, Mark, but one of my favorite moments is, there's judges dancing or sorry, judges judging the
yeah, yeah.
dancers like around.
Hmm.
My favorite moment is when Tatara cooks and like one of them drops their pen.
Yeah, no, as soon as you said the judges, I was like, wait, is it when he drops a pen? Yeah,
Dude,
he's just like
is
shook. He just
all
like
their
drops the
faces
pen.
like stunned, like
Hmm.
who's number 23? It's kind of stupid, but it's OP at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I
Uh,
agree.
this for sure is like I kind of touched on it at the very beginning. I said I would touch it at closer to the end of our thoughts, but for me, Boggs, you know it. I watch quite a bit of sports animes, Haikyuu. Currently watching Blue Lock. I watch Slam Dunk, Kuroko no Basket, Hajime no Ippo. Some of I'll say majority of that, and many
Hmm.
more. I I don't even think recency bias. Take that to the side. This is my favorite sports anime. That's why I don't want you to look at my
Let's
mouth.
go.
Legit
Let's
10 out
go.
of 10. Like I'm debating whether to order
Oh,
the
for
manga,
real?
dude.
Let's go.
Like no joke, this is my favorite sports anime. Like for
Dude, it's
sure in
good,
my top
man.
10. We might have to redo top 10 ballroom dancing.
Let's go.
Is what
You
I
have to
would have
see it,
said
man.
if he showed
Yo.
you off. No, no, no. Finally got you with
Hitting me with the
this.
Hell's Kitchen mode.
No, but like no joke, like big fan of Slam Dunk, big fan of Haikyuu, all these other sports one. This one takes it, man. I don't know, like maybe going into it, I was like, ballroom dancing. Boggs did say it was better than Yuri on Ice, and I know how much he loves that. So I was like, yo, let me give this a shot, and then I'm glad I did. I'm glad you recommended it, man. No joke. Not trying to
Yeah,
glaze you or the show. 10 out of 10. My favorite sports anime. Might be top 5 favorite animes that I've ever watched, dude.
dude, I'm
Like
glad
I
you
was
watched it
shook,
because
dude. I was
I
shook.
didn't know until like 5-10 minutes before recording. So yeah, I
That
was
we're
actually
watching
shook
ballroom
because
dancing, right?
yeah, you watch this but
No,
no,
I was
I'm
gonna
glad
let you
you
go into
enjoyed
this
it.
blind too, dude. I was gonna tell you we're recording something else and pop this up,
No,
and I was like, we can talk about this, but um, dude, for
I
like
caught on. I
no
caught on.
joke, man. Like, and I feel like just like me getting into this, I don't know how you got into this, but if somebody, homie, friend, whatever, recommends this, it's
Hmm.
hard to just be like, yo, I'll watch it. For me, Boggs, you recommended me so many fire shows. I was like, dude, I gotta eventually watch it, right?
Yeah.
But like, it's hard because you're like, watch Welcome to Ballroom. Welcome to the Ballroom. You're like, what's it about? Ballroom dancing? They were like, oh yeah,
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 it's a
for sure.
very
Let me add it to
hard
the queue.
one to like get someone to watch it too, because like then you'll
Yeah.
like maybe look it up and you see it and if the character design looks off-putting to you, you're kind of like but yeah. I
Who
feel like it's the same with a lot of like other more uh
niche shows, right?
non yeah, niche like sports or shows. It's kind of like dude, just watch a few episodes. You'll immediately be able to tell whether you'll like it or not. And
Got me thinking about
I
Chefuru.
do I'm glad you really did like it because this is just one of those shows that keeps getting better and better as the story progresses. So uh no breaks this one, at least for me. I liked the beginning, but it just kept getting better and better throughout the first season. So
Absolutely, dude. I'm glad. I'm
praying for
glad
a
I took
season
this.
two.
Glad I took the adventure to watch it, man. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh, dude. It makes me want to watch Chefuru. I watched half of it or one season, so maybe I'll rewatch, man. But
Yeah, see, for that one, season two is where things really pick up. So yeah, definitely do. And I didn't
this,
even
oh
notice till now. This cover picture is like hides Chi-chan, uh,
yeah.
which I guess kind of makes sense because she doesn't appear till second half,
Also,
13
I wanted
episodes
to
in
say
or
this
something.
earlier too. Let me see if I lost my train of thought. But I think I lost it. Never mind, never mind. Could have lost my. But it was something like it was with Chi-chan maybe, but I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Gosh, Boggs, you really
Chi-chan.
screwed me up here, dog.
I mean, Chi-chan's backstory too was really good, and I
Even her
actually
friend
really
was cool.
liked her relationship with her friend, and her friend was kind of mean, but you could tell
At the
She's
end, she
actually
was
like a
crying.
nice
I
person
lost my
deep down.
chicha.
Yeah. And when you get into the friend's backstory too, it's like I understand why she loves Chi-chan so much.
Strong-willed character too. Well,
Hmm.
the that's what I was referring to. The opening. Yeah, I was gonna mention this earlier. But the opening, like the actual visuals of it, man.
Hmm.
From the rip, I was kind of let down because you see the partners walking together, normal clothes,
Yeah.
and in the reflection in the mirror, you can see them like wearing the ballroom competition clothes. That's when
Hmm.
I knew Shizuka. I was gonna say Shizuka
Wouldn't
from My Dress Up, but
from my dress up.
Shizuka and Kyoto's gonna be a partner, and then Mako and her brother's gonna be a partner. So I was like, I
Yeah,
was
you're
like,
like
no,
who's
no, no.
yeah.
But yeah, and
Honestly,
that's you can
cause,
go, you
cause
go.
that's how I was feeling. Cause that's how I was feeling. Cause like obviously in the beginning we pretty much only know Shizuku as like a potential partner, and then you're kind of rooting for that, and then Mako comes in and you're rooting for that. But with Mako, kind of just knew like she's definitely gonna have to go back with her brother, kind of thing. It's like okay,
Yeah,
who's
yeah, but
next, and then introduce Chi-chan. It's like okay, we
you're still
we
happy
we
it
just
happened,
entered
right?
peak zone. I'm
But
glad the Mako one happened.
yeah,
That one,
and then
that one was so good.
that's what I was also gonna add on to earlier when you were mentioning something. For me, this is a besides that's I'm gonna say part one, part two, the transition to part two of season one. Besides that, the season like the beginning of season one, it was fast paced for me, dude. I was instantly hooked from that first episode. It's not one of
Gotcha,
like
gotcha.
because when you
The
say
slow
ballroom
cooks.
dancing, you might be like, might be a little bit slower paced. Like you said,
Mhm.
Shifu picks up season two, right? This one for me was like after episode one, I was hooked, dude. I was like, and it was all action from there. Not
Yeah.
like fighting action, but obviously, but you just got hooked, man.
And definitely did help because Tatara just like loved the sports, no bullshit, just like gets right into it. And not to mention, like, we didn't really get to talk about it. Maybe we don't have to, but Tatara has his own problems too with having like insecurities.
Yeah,
We see him not even telling his dad about him doing ballroom and all that kind of stuff, but
we
you just
probably get
love
a
to see like
backstory
the
about
character
that
development.
season two, man. Gosh, I was just gonna say that too.
We
What's up with
pray
that?
for it, man. We pray for it.
And then
And
me and Boggs will probably do an in depth. This is probably just us like saying why we like it, but maybe doing an in depth video of the actual content in
yeah,
chronological order.
yeah, this is more of a ballroom
Yeah, this is
glazing episode, but
yeah. With some weaknesses, right? But yeah.
yeah.
Anything else, Boggs, you want to say before we waltz out of here?
Um,
Is that epic?
yeah.
I did join a
I think
class because of the show. Is that epic too?
I yeah. I think also, what makes a lot of sports anime that are good is the lack of like the Deus Ex Machina where, some crazy miracle happens. This also kind of avoids that where everything's believable. I know we talked quite a
Mm-hmm.
bit about the time where Tatara wins with Mako, but they get last place in the finals. They get the last place, but
Yes.
they still win in their own rights with kind of like the special awards. But uh, that's where kind of Tatara thinks about his own like, was it me? Was it Mako? It's a little bit of both, but yeah. So it did really do a good job of the dancers do good, but it's not like they get first all the time, kind of thing. So
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
think
what.
that's what makes a sports anime good, and this definitely had
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah, and
Unpredictable.
for me, closing statements and stuff like that. I'm just thankful I have a homie like Boggs that put me on this show. Um, Try to okey doke them, but he might have read right through me. Maybe he'd see my mouse score in the beginning, but once
Now
again,
you're
no
making some
joke.
comments. I was kind of getting worried when you're like,
Oh, all fair,
we'll be
right?
talking about the negatives, and I got some negatives. I was like, fuck.
But
Glad you
once
enjoyed it.
again, my favorite sports anime. It's an obscure one, but sheesh, man, cook for no good reason. It just did.
They did not have to cook that hard. They did not
Yeah,
have to
but
cook that hard.
Once again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and let us know down in the comments if you ever seen Welcome to the Ballroom and how and did it waltz into your heart like it waltzed into ours. Other than that, peace out.
Peace. See ya.